Hey guys, it's week 4 of the online dynasty for the Jacksonville Warriors, and it is my bye week. So instead of going through, also don't have a game to watch, I'm gonna take you around the nation and around my team, show you top 25, the Heisman watch, season stats, and then I'll jump into my recruiting board and all that. Top 25, not a whole lot's changed. Only most teams want to play 2 games max. Arkansas lost already, and Oregon lost to Fresno State 28-31, so they dropped a lot from all the way down to 17. So I think they'll probably be out of the race for the national championship. Probably, I don't think they'll bounce back from that. Maybe they will. Who knows? Heisman watch now. The Honey Badger is still there. Shockingly, is he even? I don't think he's even starting for the Tigers anymore. I don't think he had any stats. Does he? No, no stats. So hopefully he'll drop off soon. My boy, Stanford Clancy, is 4th on the list. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. But then I remembered, I'm going to tell you guys, is that our first few weeks of this dynasty, we had a certain set of sliders, and we played them for 1 week against each other, so we didn't really get a real measure of how sliders work, because obviously we play against somebody else in dynasty. It's default American, just playing an online game pretty much. So we had 2 weeks kind of work through it, and we decided it was a little bit too easy, as you might have noticed from my first 2 games, even though I was playing in pretty low level competition. So we upped the difficulty of our sliders settings and did some custom tweaks to our benefit, or I guess to make it a bit more challenging for us. So hopefully going forward, especially because I'm playing more tough opponents, SEC opponents, you'll see better games from me and for this dynasty. And I'm pretty sure we'll probably make some more changes in the future too, because obviously as you get more used to your own team and the sliders, you get to kind of pick out things that you're really comfortable with. So you gotta keep it fresh and make it a bit more challenging as much as you can. And so in recruiting now, and it's a little bit different than what the boy you saw in week 1 in preseason, mainly because these 2 guys right here, Nick Bird and Tim Luke, 2 great quarterbacks that I found because of what I do personally. I'm sure some of you guys might do it too. Is that I every about 3 or 4 weeks I'll go to my board and I'll figure out which players I'm not moving up the board fast enough, they don't like me good enough, or I'm just being out recruited by other teams. So I won't waste my time, because obviously at this point in the season and this career as the Jacksonville Warriors, I don't have time to afford to waste time on a player who won't come to my team. Because right now I gotta just build up talent and depth for my squad. And on top of that, I'll figure out which players don't like any of my pitches. Like if I have, I don't think I only have like 3 or 4 A's and then about 2 or 3 B's. So if they hate all those pitches, I'm left with a whole bunch of D's and C minus and all that. There's absolutely no way I'll get a good recruiting visit from them. So if I don't get good sales, good pitches for certain players, I'm just gonna let them go, because I'll see it's gonna end bad for me. So that's just that's what that is. So I'm pretty excited about those 2 quarterbacks that I had on my board. I'm not sure if they'll start day 1. They probably will, because Richard, is a good quarterback this season so far for me. He's a junior too. But generally new talent is going to be better than the talent I have on my team. But maybe Richard will progress pretty well. Maybe he'll start his senior year. Who knows? I guess I'll figure that out in the off season. And that'll be that. Got a nice backup for Clancy. Hopefully he'll turn out pretty well. And then these 2 guys here, my only 2 receivers on my board. I probably should get more, but I'm trying to control myself, because I know in next season or in 2 seasons that I really go crazy recruiting receivers and cornerbacks, mainly because this NCAA engine kind of development and all that, they really throw out a bunch of great receivers and cornerbacks every single offseason. So you can't help but be like, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy. So you really get like a huge amount of like 8 receivers and 10 cornerbacks, and you're like, all right, well now my team's basically has no depth besides those 2 positions. So I'm trying to restrain myself a little bit there. But those 2 guys I think are pretty good. I have a 6'4" guy who's probably gonna be a good red zone threat for me, and then a 6'1" guy is pretty much a nice overall bounce receiver. And this guy right here, Patrick Thompson, the perfect example I'm talking about. He hates all my best pitches, so I'm gonna let him go. I already have a tackle committed to me who's about the same overall, and he likes everything I like, so I'll let him go. And I still have 2 guards who are pretty good players. And and who likes some of my pitches, someone keeps him on board. So it's not a huge loss for me to lose Thompson as a tackle, even though he had the perfect kind of height, 6'5", I think is what it was, to be a left tackle for me. Because for me, I want my left tackles to be at least 6'5", probably taller than that. I probably want them to be 6'7", 6'8". I want them to be giants, like legit left tackles. And if they're smaller than that, they're like 6'3", 6'2". I'll probably either move them inside the guard center like a real coach would, because obviously he's a little bit undersized for a tackle position, or I might throw him over to the right side and have him block, the other left defensive end. But it's not a huge deal breaker for me if a left tackle is like a short guy, because it doesn't matter too much in this game the way the tackle linemen interact with each other. But I imagine in future, or at least I hope so, in future games, that will become more of an issue to really address. And here are my defensive ends here. I'm pretty sure I have 3 now. I had more last time, but I need to get some depth there because I'm pretty sure that on my roster right now I have like 2 seniors and 3 juniors. So obviously in a year or two I'm going to have like no depth and no play at the position right now. So I got to get some youth in there right now. Hopefully they can start for me pretty soon, or get a nice rotation going for me. And same thing. Oh, look at that, Ben Webb. Thank you for joining our team. He's a little undersized for me. I like my defensive ends to be pretty tall. 6'4", 6'5", just because I really want them to really bat down passes and pretty much just swallow up the quarterback and sack him easily. Because SEC quarterbacks obviously are generally pretty top-notch. You got to have players who can rush the edge and really keep him in the pocket and sack him, bring him down. But height is a big thing for me. That's one of the first 2 or 3 things I look at when I'm recruiting a player, because I want height to be at tight end for red zone mismatches. I want my outside linebackers to be tall and defensive ends to be tall, for basically just to kind of set the edge and guard tight ends and receivers across the middle and all that good stuff. And I want cornerbacks to be at least 6'1". I'll settle for 6 feet, but if you're shorter than 6 feet, there's no place for my team, because you could have great jumping abilities, but at the end of the day, if I put a 5'10" guy on a 6'4" receiver, that's never going to happen. It's never going to go in my favor. So I like my cornerbacks to be a little bit taller. And safeties, I don't mind them if they're undersized, like a 5'11" and all that. But obviously, being a user safety myself, I control them. I'd prefer them to be kind of like receiver height, 6'4", 6'3", just so when they throw the deep bomb, I have more, of a chance to win the battle in the jump ball. And here are some linebackers. Got some good ones here for me. I'm excited about Harmon and Evans, especially Evans, because he is a gem pretty much. Those 2 guys can probably come in right away and start day 1, which is great for me, because I'm feeling like I want to switch to a 3-4 defense, because something I haven't done before. I'm generally a 4-3 kind of guy, or a multiple defense kind of guy, but 3-4 to me, I think would be a nice change of pace for me. Try and test out some of my different schemes and formations, stuff like that. Be more blitz heavy and all that good stuff. So something I might look into later on in the season and this whole dynasty, see how it goes, my team transforms. And I don't have any safeties and no special team players or athletes, because I have 2 young safeties, so I don't really mind that. Dre Lowry is an impact player, so I don't really need any starters in that point. But I definitely need cornerbacks, need depth there. I haven't recruited these guys, or not recruited, scouted them yet, so I actually have no idea if they progress any better. But I mean, 68, that's a huge deal for me. 58 is a little on the low end, but I mean, he's 6'1", which isn't a huge deal. But I mean, at this point, I'm pushing my cornerbacks like my defensive ends. I got a lot of upperclassmen, so I need to get talent there. Plus, obviously, I can move them to safety. So see how that goes. And I'm pretty sure the video is almost over. Here's one of my other recruits, Jesse Smith, tackle, 6'2". He's the kind of guy I might move inside, but he has really good blocking in general, so he might be pretty good at the guard. So we'll see how that goes if I change his position where he progresses to. This is the end of the video. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Nice to look around the nation and my team, my recruiting. And I'll see you guys in week 5. Alright.